we ran the ball well. What is up, Fins fans? Welcome to Fins Temporal Focus, where we just got to watch Miami obliterate the Jets. What was it, 34-10? Insane. Couple of things I want to go over real quick before I get into the game. I want to give a shout out first to Devon Achane. Did not know he was NFL Player of the Month this past month. So awesome on him, well deserved. Would have had his fourth straight 100-yard game, but we'll get into that. Hopefully, he got a rib injury, the way I'm understanding it. I'm sure they just kept him out for precautionary things. The game wasn't in hand at that point, but it was in hand at that point. And also, real quick shout out to Chisel, who left a comment, and a very good comment. Chisel was chosen. So go check them out. I did go to the channel. Some really cool Achane videos that they've got up over there. So Chisel was chosen. Go check it out. And thank you for the comment. I appreciate it. Now, we will get into the game. I'm going to start off talking about the game, and then we'll get into some stats in general. But the Dolphins took off like a house of fire. 3 straight drives with a touchdown. You've got the first one, which Achane breaks off a great run, absolute determination run, gets them down to like the 3-yard line. Achane was Achane. Absolutely brilliant today. And once you see his stats, you'll understand what I'm saying. He could have had a huge day today if he doesn't get the rib injury, because Jalen Wright took over for him and took over the game. So we could have had maybe two 100-yard rushers had. Well, maybe not, because if Achane would have stayed in, I doubt Wright would have got enough carries for 100. But something to look at for the future with that. But you get Waddle gets the touchdown reception from Tua, who is absolutely waylaid. Cole Strange absolutely whiffed, the right guard whiffed on the block, and Tua took a shot, but still got enough on the ball, got it to Waddle, touchdown, no foul, no problem. And then you got Rasul Douglas, who played a game today. Rasul Douglas, who had the interception midway through the game, had a big breakup on the Jets' first drive. Then the Dolphins get the ball back. Achane, a 13-yard touchdown run that was an absolute thing of beauty. And you also had, for the very first time, Savaianaya was involved, and not just being able to, not just going, oh man, he missed that block. He was downfield making blocks. Savaianaya played a pretty good game. So we go to the third touchdown, and Terrell Dotson with the Thigh Master interception of the year. That was a thing of beauty. Absolutely loved it. But I had said it, and then the guys doing the game, they actually talked about oh wow, the girl from Three's Company played Chrissy, Suzanne Summers, Thigh Master. Yeah, I remember that. And but yeah, thigh master interception for him, catching it between his thighs, hanging onto the ball. And then you have Jalen Wright with I believe it was a 17-yard touchdown run, or maybe that was the short touchdown. But anyway, 3 straight drives, 3 touchdowns. And if you watched my preview video, I talked about special teams. Special teams would be a thing in this game. And boom, the Jets special teams struck with the punt return for the touchdown. And then you get a bad pass. Tua just looked... Okay, I'm going to get into the Tua thing a little bit. Which, let me get into some stats, okay? We'll get into the stats for the game. Tua was 13 of 21, 127 yards and a touchdown. Achane, 7 carries, 92 yards, 13.1 yard average, and a touchdown. He also had a reception for 13 yards. Jalen Wright was 24 for 107 and a touchdown. He would have actually had like 100, maybe 113, 114. The very last time he ran the ball, he lost like 5-6 yards. I don't know. And then Ollie Gordon, you got to throw him in. He was power running all day. 3.4 yard average for him. 5 carries, 17 yards, and then he had I want to say about 9-yard touchdown. I believe it was. I don't know if I wrote that down. And then Jalen Waddle, 5 catches, 50 yards, and the touchdown. He also had a 21-yard end around rush for 21 yards. And Greg Dulcich, 3 catches, 41 yards. That was really about it as far as receiving. We threw the ball 21 times. We only completed 13. Then this Dolphin defense with 6 sacks. Zach Sealer, 2.5 sacks. Willie Gay had 1. Melifanu had 1. Chop Robinson had 1. And Bradley Chubb had the other half of Sealer's. They also had 3 interceptions on the day. I talked about Rasul Douglas. He had 1. Tyrell Dotson, of course, the Thighmaster interception. And then Bonner had a beautiful one-handed interception in the corner of the end zone late in the game. The game was over, but we'll just say sealed the deal. Nothing left to do but the kneel down, which was pretty cool that Wilson got to come in late in the game since it was against the Jets, and he gets to do the kneel down to seal the game. So a little vengeance there, I'm guessing, for Zach Wilson. You look at the Jets, not much to talk about there. Brady Cook, the rookie, came in. Taylor went down. Tyron Taylor went down on the first drive, maybe the second drive. He was 1 of 4, 6 yards, and the pick. The pick was Dotson, and Brady Cook came in and he didn't play badly. 14 of 30, 163 yards. Yes, he threw 2 picks. One was a great play by Bonner. And the other one was just a great play, a great read by Rasul Douglas. But the Jets did not help him at all with the drops. He's got some zip on the ball. And nobody's going to talk about it. Everybody's going to say, well, the rookie came in and it just got flushed away. The Jets did not lose because of Brady Cook, because he was zipping the ball. The Jets receivers, Mitchell, I don't know how many times Mitchell dropped the ball for the Jets. The only real receiver they had was Mason Taylor, who had 5 catches for 51 yards. But Brady Cook did not look bad, and he would have looked a lot better if Jets receivers would have hung on to the ball. But it is what it is, and I'm a Dolphins fan, so I don't care. I'm glad they dropped them. Just saying, for you Jets fans out there, don't blame this loss on Brady Cook because he was winging it. And then you had Breece Hall, 14 carries, 43 yards, 3.1 yard per attempt. And Isaiah Davis, the backup running back, he only had 2 carries, but I thought it was worth mentioning. 2 carries, 22 yards, 11 yards per carry. Then Quincy Williams had the Jets' only sack of the ball game, and then there was special teams, which I thought this game would come down to special teams. It didn't, but the Jets' special teams have been very good. They're like in the top 10 in all the major categories as far as like returns, field goals, I don't know, they showed like 5 or 6 things. It was all pretty much top 10. And I knew going into this game that it would play a factor. And then, boom, they get the punt return for the touchdown. And I'm sitting here thinking, wow, did I nail this one? Because that was all I could see in my mind was, they're going to come back. I wasn't sure. I didn't think they could win with special teams in general. I just thought it might come down to some special teams plays. And the special teams get them back into it, make it 21-7, 14-point game. And Isaiah Williams, 78 yards on that punt return for the touchdown. McNamara, the punter, absolutely had a really good game. He 6 punts, 54.3 yard average. He had 2 of them down inside the 20. Should have been 3. And I'm screaming because I seen he came out of the end zone and down the ball, and I'm like, hey, you can't do that. And sure enough, they come back from commercial and they're like, yeah, he came out of the end zone, did not establish himself. He can't be the first one to touch the ball. So if he doesn't do that, I think that ball dies, and it's going to be another starting at, I think that would have been like the 3-4 yard line. But he would have had 3 inside the 20. So their special teams was amazing. We'll look at some team stats. You got total yards. Dolphins dominated across the board, 358 to 207. Rushing, the Dolphins 239 yards rushing the football to 65. First downs, 23 to 12. Third down conversions, apparently neither one of these teams could do anything on third down. It was pathetic. I don't think anybody converted a third down until like midway through the third quarter. It was absolutely ridiculous. The Dolphins got were 2 of 10 on third down, and the Jets were 1 of 12 on third down. Fourth down, the Jets went for it twice. They converted once. The Dolphins never went for it on fourth down. Of course, you had 6 sacks for the Dolphins, only 1 for the Jets. Penalties, 6 penalties for the Jets, 50 yards. Dolphins, 5 penalties for 54 yards. The big penalty was on Fitzpatrick. Had the big PI. That one was most of our yards. So most of it was just 5-yard penalties except for that one. Then you have turnovers. 3 turnovers for the Jets. 0 for the Dolphins. They did have the fumble. Ollie Gordon fumbles the pitch, which I think goes on Tua's mark as the fumble, but he pitches it to Ollie Gordon, and Gordon doesn't hang on to it, but he gets it back. So no turnovers for the Dolphins. Time of possession, the Dolphins 36 minutes, 7 seconds to the Jets 23 minutes, 53 seconds. And the Dolphins were perfect in the red zone. They were in the red zone 4 times. They came away with 4 touchdowns. The Jets were in the red zone 3 times and came away with nothing, nada, zilch. And that is pretty much the sum up of the game itself. Dolphins dominated this game without question. The one thing that I am going to talk about a little bit, and I'm glad we're running the ball. And I think that part we're doing extremely, extremely well. Now, the couple of things that I do want to talk about, because this was a great win. Without question, this is great momentum going into the Monday night game against the Steelers, who also won. It would have probably helped if the Ravens would have won today. It would have probably helped us because now we're tied, we're tied with the Ravens, but the Ravens have the head-to-head with us. Pittsburgh, we can still beat them, and we would have the head-to-head with them. But even if we beat them Monday, no matter what happens with the Ravens, Pittsburgh is still going to be in the lead for the division in the NFC North. So that's still going to, even if we beat Pittsburgh, we're still going to be tied with the Ravens. And the Ravens have the tiebreaker because they beat us earlier this year. So, gotta either be rooting for the Ravens to win that division so we can, if we go in and beat Pittsburgh on Monday night, we have that head-to-head. Or you've got to hope that the Ravens fall apart and we can jump past them at least a game. If not, the Ravens will get the nod over us. Now, there's plenty of other teams that have the nod over us. But I'm just saying, if it comes down to it, we really needed the Ravens to have won that game. So, Mark, your team didn't help us. If you know, you know. So, Achane did get the ribs. He looked okay on the sideline. I think he'll be okay for the Monday night game. It is a Monday night, so it's a long week. The thing, Tua did not play well today. Again. And in these wins, he has not played well. Now, early in the game, that first quarter, I was like, okay, we're seeing something here. Tua is slinging the ball. And then we seemed to get away from the run. He missed a wide open. Waddle is having to dive for the ball on a slant. This is Tua's bread and butter. And he missed him. And it just seemed like Tua is off. I don't even know if he's playing bad. I don't know if, I've said this before, I don't know if it's mentally, I don't know if there's something going on physically, but we have seen him make these plays routinely in the past. And for some reason, this year, it is not clicking. And I got annoyed because I still am not liking some of the play calling. But, and I wish I could remember what your name was. There was somebody that had left a comment, and they took their comment off my page. I don't know why. I thought we had a pretty decent conversation. But who knows, maybe I said something they didn't like. But I did appreciate their comment. And they were talking about, and I said, if I'm wrong, I wanted Mike McDaniel gone. And they were saying that Mike McDaniel wasn't the problem, and that next year would be a down year. Then we would get our quarterback, and then Mike McDaniel would take off. I can't argue that. He has moments. He's a really good play caller. Now, my only rebuttal was because he was talking about him being the offensive coordinator in San Francisco, which he was not the offensive coordinator in San Francisco. He was the run coordinator in San Francisco. He did not call the offensive plays, which I didn't understand because we don't run the ball. But his bread and butter was running the ball. Now all of a sudden we're running the ball and we're winning. Now I'm as much I love, I grew up a Dan Marino fan. I love quarterbacks, but at the same time, I have been pounding the table for us to be able to get a running game. We have Devon Achane, we have Ollie Gordon. Jalen Wright had a tremendous day today. So obviously, we have to rely on the run. But then there's some play calling that I don't understand, but then it hit me today. We call these bubble screens, especially like 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12, whatever. It's like we don't want to give Tua a chance. We know he can throw the ball downfield. And today is the first time it happened the last game. There was a couple of spots where we just ran the ball. We gave up the down. We just gave it up, and we either kicked a field goal or punted, whatever it was. But we didn't try to get a first down on 3rd down. And today we did it again. Now it's 3 times in this game. And the 3 times was once, and I don't know if I'm doing these in order. I don't really have it wrote down. This is coming off the melon. But you had, I know one was right before the half. Well, let me go back. So we had a point, I think it was 3rd and 11. And we run the ball on 3rd and 11. Now we ran a screen that ends up getting offsetting penalties, which neither one of the penalties should have happened. And then there was a penalty prior to that where they got the Jets with an illegal block where it was not an illegal block. The guy's just trying to get down to make a tackle, and he hits the guy in the leg. But you can see he's going toward the runner. He's not engaging the guy that they're saying that he is blocking. So bad call on the Jets for that one. The block in the back on Waddle on that play, maybe, I don't know. He didn't really push the guy, but you do see him go forward, so maybe he bumped him. I don't know. I didn't think it was egregious. I'll put it that way. But since I'm glad it was offsetting just because of the fact the Jets penalty should not have been called. So even if Waddle's penalty would have not counted or counted, they offset them, let them replay the down. And it's 3rd and 11. And what do? We run the ball straight up the gut to take the field goal. So that confuses me a little bit. It's like, okay, whatever. And then right before the half, we run the ball twice. And then we decide to throw a screen again. And this one, man, Jets fans are going to go insane. They are so down the wire on this. Is it a forward pass? Is it a backwards pass? I would call that a backwards pass. That's my opinion. Looks like a backward pass. And they just go by. He threw it. Apparently, his arm was at the 3-yard line when he let it go. And the ball landed at the 4-yard line. So they say incomplete, but I hated the call. That would have made more sense to just run the ball, let them burn their last time out, and then we can punt it away. And punt it out of bounds, because obviously you don't want to punt it to their return. Let them set up their return. So I didn't understand that. And then, of course, you have the really bad, should have been another interception for a touchdown for the Jets. where, and I don't remember who it was. I want to say maybe Williams for the Jets. But he was all over Jalen Wright. And if he catches that ball, he's at the 2-yard line. Unless he just absolutely falls down, he's going to fall into the end zone. That, again, and that was not a bubble screen. That does not fall on Mike McDaniel. Tua, that was not, you could tell, that was not the designated throw. That was Tua looking downfield and then turns and comes back. And Williams, I think it was Williams. I don't know that for sure, but I think it was Williams. He reads it perfectly. Either way, the linebacker for the Jets reads it perfectly. And the football gods just said, no, we're not giving you an interception. They have 2 turnovers on the season. And they didn't get any today. And it gets to a point, Ollie Gordon fumbles, and there's like 3 Jets there, and Ollie Gordon somehow gets the ball back. It's just where the football gods just are not shining for the New York Jets right now. But those are the things I'm not understanding with Mike McDaniel, is that type of play calling. And then I stepped back during the game, and I went, he's lost faith in Tua. That seems to be the problem. And if that is the issue, and he's not going to come out and say this, and Tua has played badly this year, and again, I want Tua to catch fire. I want him to play like we know that he can play. But it has almost come to the point of, if it's a certain down and distance, we're going to throw that 3rd down away. We're not even going to try to get a 1st down on 3rd down. That's what it seems like to me. I don't understand it. And that's the only thing I can come up with. Because at first I'm like, it's the play calling. But maybe, and I wish I could remember your name, but maybe you're right. Maybe the play calling is because of Tua. I really don't want to believe that, because I would not want someone out there that I didn't, and we know Tua can run the plays. He's been brilliant at that. But this year, something is off. And it just struck me. So if you're watching this video and you know who you are, leave a comment in the sense of, I'm saying maybe you're right as far as McDaniel being handcuffed a little bit. And we'll see. It still doesn't explain some of the play calling. And then the rest of the game, we haven't thrown bubble screens like we were doing. And then today, it seems like we kind of went back to them. But it seems like it's only on 3rd down or it's long situations. Stop it. Just stop. If it ain't working, change it. And if it is working, go with it. Just makes no sense to me. And today, the running game was working. He went away from it, but he came back to it in the end. In the end. He came back to it in the end, and it continued to work. Regardless of what you want, we are a running football team now. Accept it. And that's how far this team can go. This team will go as far as the offensive line, and I get offensive line is not great, but they are a lot better run blocking than they are pass blocking. So this team will only go as far as the defense, the offensive line, and the running backs will take it. Because until Tua gets something right with himself, he's not going to win games for us. At least not right now. Not what I'm seeing. I want him to. But again, I will preach it till the day I die, the eye test. And the eye test tells me this year he is struggling for whatever reason. If it's injury, if it's mental, if it's just players around him being a little off of where he thinks that they are going to be. I don't know what it is. But the passing game has suffered because of it. And unfortunately, he's going to get most of the blame. That being said, we start our run. It starts Monday night. So guys, enjoy this one. Thorough butt whooping of the New York Jets in the Meadowlands. Now, I still don't know about the whole narrative as far as not being able to win in cold weather. It was not cold in Jersey today. It was in the 40s. Felt like it was like 38, I think they said at one point. But I do get Tua had not won a game, and that's the problem. Tua's not the only one on the field. Tua hasn't won a game in below 45 degrees or 43 degrees, whatever it was. Well, he set that to rest because they won, and he was the quarterback. They just didn't win because of him. But he didn't cost them in any way. So you take it for what it is. But defense, offensive line, Jalen Wright, Devon Achane, Ollie Gordon, everybody is playing strong right now. So we'll see how it goes. Pittsburgh looked really good against Baltimore, and we are headed to Pittsburgh next. So we'll see how this goes. I will be making a video later in the week and maybe talk about this a little more. I didn't mean to talk about it as much as I did, but it's just something that got stuck in my head as I'm watching this game. Has Mike McDaniel lost faith in Tua? I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think he has, or do you think, I don't know. Tell me what you think, because I can't figure it out. I don't know what's going on with the passing game. I don't know if it's Tua. I don't know if it's the people around Tua. I don't know if it is the play calling, but the passing game is not working. So we just continue what we did today. Run the ball. Run it until they stop it. And today the Jets could not stop it. So good win today. We'll get ready for Pittsburgh. Enjoy it for the week. And I will be back probably middle of the week. And we will discuss a few things and maybe get ready for the Pittsburgh game. But for what it's worth, guys, make good decisions and fins up.